My child, you are next. Do you hear me? You are next. I know you're wondering what I'm referring to, but remember, I have not brought you here to remain in confusion, but in clarity. I have been working with your life, shaping every moment, every step you've taken over the past 5 months. At the time, you may not have realized it, but I was quietly orchestrating everything, aligning the stars, adjusting the winds, and moving mountains on your behalf. Even when you couldn't see it, I was there, guiding you and preparing you for what's about to unfold. My child, you are about to step into a divine calling, a purpose that will transform your life and those around you. You are about to experience a breakthrough, a miracle, and a change that will leave you in awe of my power and love. I know there were moments when you felt like giving up, when the weight of the world seemed too much to bear, but those moments were not wasted. They were the very moments that were shaping and preparing you for what's coming. I have been refining you not to break you, but to strengthen you, to mold you into who you are meant to be. The trials you've faced weren't meant to destroy you, they were meant to build you, and now you are ready. Ready to step into the destiny I have prepared for you. Do not doubt yourself, for I have given you all that you need. I have blessed you with unique gifts, talents, and abilities. I have placed in you a courageous spirit, a compassionate heart, and a wise mind. You lack nothing. You are complete in me. As you enter this new season, you will witness my guiding hand, my voice leading you, and my favor surrounding you. You will walk with confidence, not because of your own strength, but because of who I am within you. I know you still have questions about the future and the unknown, but I ask you to trust me. Trust that I have a plan for you, one that will prosper you and give you hope. I am not a God of confusion, but of peace, and I am orchestrating every step you take, making a way where there seems to be no way. Though you may not see the full picture, I do, and I ask you to trust me. Do not rely on your own understanding. Acknowledge me in all your ways, and I will direct your path. You are next in line for a divine encounter, a moment where heaven touches earth in your life. You are next in line for a miracle, a breakthrough, a victory that will leave you speechless. You are next in line for a promotion, a blessing and favor that will exceed all your expectations. You are next in line for healing, restoration, and renewal that will bring you back to life. You are next in line for a revelation, wisdom, and knowledge that will open doors you never thought possible. You are next in line for a love, a joy, and a peace that surpasses all understanding. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, help you, and uphold you with my righteous right hand. You are not alone on this journey. I am with you every step of the way, fighting for you in every battle you face, speaking the words you need to hear, holding you when you feel weak, and carrying you when you think you can't go on. I am your refuge, your strength, your ever-present help in times of need. You are about to enter a season of abundance, a season overflowing with blessings that will overtake you. You are on the brink of a season of joy, laughter, and celebration that will fill your heart with happiness. A season of peace, rest, and tranquility is coming your way, bringing calm to your soul. You are about to experience a season of growth, maturity, and transformation that will draw you closer to me. I am doing something new in your life, and it is already beginning. Can you not see it? I am creating paths in the wilderness and streams in the deserts. I am turning your dry places into gardens, your valleys into mountains, and your storms into stillness. I am turning your mourning into dancing, your sorrow into joy, and your pain into purpose. Your tests are becoming testimonies, your trials are becoming triumphs, and your battles are transforming into victories. I am turning your mess into a message, your scars into stars, and your wounds into wisdom. You are about to step into a divine appointment, a moment where your life aligns with my will in a powerful way. You are next in line for a divine connection, a relationship that will propel you into your destiny. A divine opportunity is coming your way, a door that no one can shut. You are next in line for a divine revelation, a truth that will set you free and change your life. A divine intervention is on the way, a miracle that will defy all logic and leave you in awe of my power. I am calling you to rise, to step out, to move forward. I am calling you to take a leap of faith, to trust me fully, and to believe that I am who I say I am. Let go of the past and release the pain. Forgive those who have wronged you. Embrace the future, welcome the new, and step into the unknown with boldness and courage. Be brave, be fearless, and walk confidently into the fullness of your identity, living out the purpose I have placed within you. You are about to enter a season of favor, grace, and blessings that will overflow in your life. You are next in line for a season of breakthroughs, victory, and success beyond your wildest dreams. You are about to experience a season of healing, restoration, and renewal that will bring you back to life. A season of love, joy, and peace is coming, filling your heart with abundance. I am with you, my child. I am for you. I am within you, and together we will walk this path, hand in hand, heart in heart, spirit in spirit. You are not alone, forgotten, or abandoned. You are loved. You are chosen. You are called. You are anointed. You are appointed. You are destined. You are next, and I am with you every step of the way. So rise up, my child. Rise up and take your place. Rise up and step into your destiny. Rise up and embrace the future I've prepared for you. Walk in the fullness of my love, grace, and power. Be who I created you to be. Shine brightly, for the world is waiting for the light inside you. Take your place, for you are next, and I am with you always. I know there are moments when you struggle to understand my timing. You look at the circumstances around you, and it feels like things are moving too slowly or not at all. You wonder why the answers to your prayers seem delayed, why the breakthroughs you've been waiting for haven't come, and why the path ahead feels unclear. But I want you to understand this. My timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with your expectations. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are far above yours. What you may perceive as a delay, I see as a time of preparation. What you consider silence, I view as an opportunity for you to grow in faith and deepen your trust in me. There is a divine rhythm to everything I do, a sacred timing that cannot be hurried or forced. Just as the seasons come and go in their designated time, so too does my plan unfold in its perfect season. The seed doesn't sprout overnight, and the fruit doesn't appear before its time. It requires patience, care, and a trust in the process. In the same way, I am working in your life even when you cannot see it. I am planting seeds of purpose within you, nurturing them with my word, and helping them grow in ways you haven't yet imagined. Trust that what I have begun in you, I will bring to completion at the right time. You may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but hold on to this truth. Everything that occurs in your life is part of a greater plan, one that works together for your good. Even the trials, setbacks, and periods of waiting are shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the destiny I've set for you. What you may see as a detour is often my way of redirecting you toward greater blessings and fulfillment. What feels like a closed door is often my protection, keeping you from what isn't meant for you. And what seems like a delay is my way of ensuring you are fully prepared for what lies ahead. I understand it's hard to remain faithful when the path seems unclear. It's challenging to trust when you can't see the full picture. But I am calling you to a deeper faith, a faith that believes even when you can't see, a faith that trusts even when it doesn't make sense. Remember, faith is not the absence of doubt. It's the choice to believe in me despite the doubts. It's holding on to my promises even when everything around you seems to contradict them. It's surrendering your timeline to my perfect will, knowing that I am always working for your good. There have been moments when you've questioned my presence, my plan, or my timing. You've wondered if I've forgotten you, if I've abandoned you, or if I'm even hearing your prayers. But hear me clearly, I have never left you. I've never stopped working on your behalf, and I've never ceased to care for you. Even in the moments when you felt alone, I was there. Even in times when you felt lost, I was guiding you. Even when you felt broken, I was healing you. I am the God who sees you, the God who knows you, and the God who loves you more than you can comprehend. My timing may be hard to understand, but it is always purposeful. I don't operate according to human schedules or earthly deadlines. I move in accordance with a divine plan, one that takes into account every detail of your life, every need of your heart, and every desire of your soul. I'm not bound by time because I am the creator of time. I am not limited by circumstances, for I am the master of them. I am not hindered by the impossible, for I am the God of the impossible. What you think is impossible, I can make possible. What you see as a delay is actually on time in my eyes. And what seems uncertain to you is already settled in my will. My child, let my perfect timing throughout Scripture remind you of my faithfulness. I've always kept my promises, even when my people couldn't see the entire plan. I am the same God yesterday, today, and forever. Just as I worked in the lives of those who came before you, I am actively working in your life right now. Let these stories serve as a reminder of my sovereignty, faithfulness, and impeccable timing. Do you recall the story of Abraham and Sarah? I promised them a son, one through whom all nations would be blessed. Yet, as the years went by, Sarah grew impatient. She doubted my promise and tried to take matters into her own hands, giving her servant Hagar to Abraham. But even in her doubt and impatience, my plan remained unchanged. At the appointed time, when it seemed impossible, when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was past the age of bearing children, I fulfilled my promise. Isaac was born, a living testament to my faithfulness and perfect timing. What they thought was a delay was actually me preparing them for a miracle that would be remembered for generations. My timing was perfect even when they couldn't understand it. Think of Joseph, the dreamer I called. I gave him visions of greatness, yet his journey was anything but easy. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison for years. But in every moment I was with him. Behind the scenes, I was orchestrating every detail, preparing him for the destiny I had planned. When the appointed time arrived, I raised him up to be second in command over all of Egypt. using him to save his family and an entire nation from famine. What seemed like years of suffering and delay was actually my way of positioning him for a purpose far beyond what he could have imagined. My timing was perfect even in the midst of his trials. Think of Moses, the deliverer. I called him to lead my people out of Egypt. For 40 years he lived in the wilderness, far removed from the palace where he had once lived. He may have felt as though his life was over, as if his purpose was lost, but I was preparing him all along. I was teaching him humility, dependence on me, and the patience needed to lead my people. When the time was right, I spoke to him through the burning bush, calling him to fulfill the destiny I had planned for him. My timing was perfect, even when Moses felt forgotten and abandoned. Consider the Israelites as they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years. To them, it may have seemed like time wasted, a punishment for their disobedience. But even in their wandering, I was with them. I provided for them, guided them, and taught them to trust me. When the time was right, I brought them into the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. My timing was perfect, even when they couldn't see the purpose in their journey. Think of David, the young shepherd boy I anointed to be king. After Samuel anointed him, he didn't immediately ascend to the throne. Instead, he endured years of trials, fleeing from Saul, hiding in caves, and waiting for my promise to come to pass. Yet, in those years of waiting, I was shaping him into the king I had called him to be. I taught him to rely on me, to trust in my timing, and to worship me in the midst of his trials. When the time was right, I established him as king over Israel. My timing was perfect, even when David felt forgotten and alone. Remember Esther, the young Jewish girl who became queen at a time when her people were threatened with destruction. It seemed as though all hope was lost, but I had placed her in the palace for such a time as this. Through her courage and faith, I used her to save my people from annihilation. What might have seemed like mere coincidence was my perfect timing at work. I was in control even when the situation seemed hopeless. Consider the prophets who foretold the coming of the Messiah. For centuries, my people waited for the promised Savior, yearning for his arrival, but unable to understand why it seemed delayed. Yet I was working behind the scenes, preparing the world for the perfect moment. When the time was right, I sent my son Jesus to be born in Bethlehem. His birth, life, death, and resurrection were all part of my perfect plan, brought to fulfillment at just the right time. My timing was perfect even when it seemed like I had forgotten my promises. Think of the disciples after Jesus' crucifixion. They were devastated, confused, and full of fear. They had placed their hopes in him, and now he was gone. But even then, I was working in ways they could not see. 3 days later, I raised him from the dead, fulfilling the greatest promise ever made. And at the appointed time, I poured out my Spirit on the day of Pentecost, empowering them to spread the gospel to all nations. My timing was perfect even when they couldn't understand it. My child, these stories are not merely ancient tales. They are testimonies of my faithfulness and perfect timing. Just as I worked in the lives of those who came before you, I am working in your life today. I am the same God who parted the Red Sea, who shut the mouths of lions, who calmed the storm, and who raised the dead. I am the same God who fulfills my promises in ways far beyond what you could ever imagine. So, when you feel impatient, remember Abraham and Sarah. When you feel forgotten, remember Joseph. When you feel unprepared, remember Moses. When you feel lost, remember the Israelites. When you feel overlooked, remember David. When you feel uncertain, remember Esther. When you feel like my promises are delayed, remember the prophets and the coming of my Son. And when you feel like all hope is lost, remember the resurrection. My timing is always perfect even when you can't see it. My ways are higher even when you don't understand them. And my love for you is unwavering even when your circumstances change. Trust in me, for I am working all things together for your good. I am with you. I am for you. And I am in you. Together we will walk through this season hand in hand, heart to heart, spirit to spirit. You are never alone. You are never forgotten. You are never abandoned. You are loved. You are chosen. You are called. You are anointed. You are appointed. You are destined, and I am with you always. Amen.